I don't listen to it.
Then how do you know that they're bashing you?
You just told me they are.
I did?
Yeah.
How about this? We'll come back to it and you can think up a better answer, okay?
I'm not thinking up an answer. I'm telling you the truth. I'm sorry if you don't want to listen to it.
Your basic understanding of criminal law, though, you know if the defense gives you a subpoena, you get no immunity.
Correction, improper question.
I'm not going beyond that question.
All right, that's the only question you can ask on that.
If I give you a subpoena, you don't get immunity, right?
Correct.
Let's talk about your parents. The government asked you about your mother and father, Donna and Harvey, right? The government could do the same and subpoena them so that this jury can watch them get questioned. Not nicely how Ms. Kavelman questioned you, but to be cross-examined by me.
Objection, improper question. I'm going to sustain that. Ask a different question.
Are your parents here in Tallahassee right now?
No.
Are they back in Miami?
Yes.
Do they have any plans on coming here this week or next?
I don't think so.
Your family dynamics. It is your mother and father, Harvey and Donna. There's you. You're the youngest, Charles, and then the oldest, Robert, right?
Correct.
And he's a doctor up in New York.
Correct.
Now, the government asked you about the relationship, and you were like, we don't talk much. It's actually much deeper than that with Robert, isn't it?
We don't talk.
At all?
At all.
And the reason is that your parents were so difficult about the woman who is now his wife.
That is not the reason why we don't talk.
I'm not talking about the reason why you don't talk. Let me clarify the reason why your parents don't talk to him.
That's not the reason that they don't talk to them.
Are you saying to this jury that there wasn't a problem where they outright objected to his marriage of a woman who was not of the Jewish faith?
That was initially what had happened, and then there was actually a beautiful reconciliation, and they're very happy about the marriage.
Robert and his wife, not your family.
Robert and his wife and our family were very happy about Robert's marriage.
So what happens is that Robert is in love with a woman, your parents object. He breaks up with her, and then he dates a Jewish woman, right?
And then they got married and divorced, and then he got back together with the person he wanted to be married to.
With his true love.
Yes.
But there was a lot of tension in your family, like because of your family's involvement in the kids' marriages, right?
Yes.
Let's talk briefly about your children. The government had asked you, and then the topic of the Jewish faith, keeping kosher, you mentioned about a bar mitzvah at one point in time. You're currently planning a bar mitzvah for your oldest, right?
Nope, it already happened.
Now, that is I'm Christopher, I'm obviously not Jewish. But my understanding is that it is a very, very important thing in the Jewish faith.
It is a very important milestone.
And for those who are very conservative in the Jewish faith, those who keep kosher, so to speak, it is even bigger.
I don't know if it's more important to one segment of Judaism over another, but it's an important coming-of-age ceremony.
It's where a boy becomes a man. Did you invite Dan Markel's parents, the kids' grandparents?
I did.
You invited them?
I invited them, yes.
When was the last time they saw their grandchildren?
April 20th.
Of this year?
Just now.
And you agree with me that it had been years, since 2016, since the last time they had seen them?
The visits stopped when they threatened to put my children in foster care, yes. But up to that point, they did have visits.
You got no problem with letting them see your brother Charles, right?
I'm sorry?
You have no problem letting them hang out with your brother Charles, who is sitting in custody for first-degree murder?
Well, they can't see him now, can they?
No, they can't, but I'll ask the questions. For years, they weren't able to see their grandchildren despite their pleading with you to see them. But you, let me finish, but you let them hang out with your murdering brother, right?
The children were permitted to see their grandparents. I cooked for them. We had play dates. They had sleepovers. When a letter surfaced that they were trying to have my children placed in foster care, the visits stopped. My brother never threatened to put my children in foster care, and if he had, visits would have stopped with him too.
You say you love your boys,
I do say I love my children.
don't care about the father that they love.
I never said I don't care about the father that they love.
Then look at some of the discovery and help figure it out.
Excuse me?
Then look at some of the evidence and help figure it out so that more lives aren't ruined by this.
I seem not to Mr. DeCoste, you need to ask a question now. You're making statements now. You need to ask a question.
Understood, Your Honor. If I can have one brief second to check with co-counsel. We started this by saying this is all about you. It started because of this marriage, right?
No. Well, you had tried to say that, but I don't agree.
Miss Adelson, I'm going to make one final attempt through questions to implore you. You understand that you can't protect your brother Charles, who's going through this case, and protect yourself at the same time? You understand that, right?
I'm here to share the truth with you. I don't know how to answer the question.
Then please, end the madness, share the truth. Will you please share the truth with this jury?
I've been sharing the truth since I walked in here. I've done nothing but share the truth.
You know what happened here. Despite your claims to the jury that you haven't looked at anything, you haven't discussed it with anybody, and you haven't confronted your brother, you know what happened here, right?
I do not know what happened here, and if I did, I would have shared it with the police 8 years ago.
You know that your brother, you know your brother went behind your back, don't you?
I do not.
This is something he always does. This is something that he has always done, isn't it?
It's not.
You found out after that your brother had done this and done this behind your back. That's why you were throwing up at the dinner, right?
No, it's not.
You know it didn't involve Katie either, right?
I don't know anything about.
If you're not going to say all of that and finally give the truth, why don't you just admit to this jury that you're guilty?
Because I'm not guilty.
Brief moment. I've got nothing, Your Honor.